In this episode, we're summarizing the 8th episode from Season 3 of the Wire series titled Moral Midgetry. The episode first aired on November 14th, 2004. In the beginning, Councilman Tommy Carcetti is worried about crime stats in the Western District. In a meeting with Commissioner Betrayal and Deputy Commissioner Rawls, Carcetti questions the crime reduction, but Betrayal reassures him it's just a statistical anomaly. Carcetti then discusses issues with witness protection, but there is no funding. Ignoring advice, Carcetti criticizes Betrayal, and advisor D'Agostino leaves upset. At dinner, she advises Carcetti to be more likable and inspiring instead of relying on facts. She arranges coaching for him to improve his demeanor. As we head over to the Western District, Sergeant Ellis Carver talks to Officer Aaron Castor about Hamsterdam being quiet, except for a few overdoses. A drug dealer is tricked into a vacant building where he and others are attacked, robbed, and held captive. They eventually escape and report to the police. The dealers ask for police protection since they can't carry weapons in Hamsterdam. Major Howard Bunny Colvin shows his friend the Deacon around cleaned up areas and then takes him to Hamsterdam. Colvin discusses the dealers' complaints with Carver and suggests hiring the now unemployed lookouts as auxiliary police to address the issue of unoccupied children. The Deacon is disgusted and questions Colvin's actions, urging him to provide essentials like clean water, needles, condoms, and treatment centers for the addicts. Colvin, however, says it is beyond his role as a police officer. Later, Dennis Cuddy Wise helps the Deacon load boxes into a car, advising him to stay occupied to stay on the right path. Herc brings the dealers to the precinct to create a composite of their attacker using the Identikit computer. Colicchio disapproves of cooperating with the dealers, and Carver is unimpressed with Herc's approach. Later, over beers, Garrick, Colicchio, Herc, and Carver discuss Colvin's project. Colicchio calls it moral midgetry and expresses frustration with policing Hamsterdam. Carver defends Colvin, citing his long service, while Herc reminds them that Colvin claimed Hamsterdam was temporary, leaving Colicchio skeptical. A community leader named Roman addresses the unrest among unemployed boys in Hamsterdam. He proposes a tournament to keep them occupied and suggests an abandoned gym. Cuddy himself is more into boxing than any other sport, and so he is interested. Roman explains Colvin's initiative, and they visit a working boxing gym. Cuddy feels a connection and decides to fix up a disused gym, happy to have a project at last. The Deacon meets Colvin in a pool hall to discuss an issue. Colvin leaves for a Comstat meeting, but promises to return. During the Comstat, Rawls questions Colvin about changing his figures, and Daniels denies taking credit for the crime drop. Rawls asks Colvin to provide records for verification. Colvin, Roman, and the Deacon meet with a public health official to bring services to Hamsterdam. The official is worried about lacking approval from Colvin's superiors, but the Deacon pushes for a quick action. The next day, initiatives for needle exchange and free condoms are underway. Back at the major case unit, Roland Prez-Belusky successfully traces Bodie Broaddus' disposable cell phone from its manufacturer through wholesalers to the store where it was sold. Lester Freeman and Cedric Daniels commend his meticulous work. Prez also identifies 6 other phones from the same company, distributed across different stores. Freeman maps the locations and notes the drug dealers' disciplined strategy of traveling 200 miles along an interstate from Baltimore to Richmond to avoid detection. Freeman assigns Jimmy McNulty and Kima Greggs to find the buyer of the phones. They check the Mondo Mart but can't access security footage. Greggs suggests checking independent stores outside of town for better leads. Meanwhile, Sergeant Jay Landsman informs McNulty that Brianna Barksdale has been trying to reach him and provides a contact number. Remember, I am summarizing this entire series as well as other popular works of literature, movies, and TV shows as well. Subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the next episode or series. If you would like to see the playlists of our summaries, click on the link in the description. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Click like on the video if you found it valuable, because that helps YouTube recommend it to viewers like you. Consider supporting us on Patreon if you can. Doing this will help my channel out tremendously. I really thank you for your support. In Virginia, McNulty and Greggs find the shop where Bernard bought the phones. Although the owners keep detailed records, their security tapes are reused. McNulty, anticipating racism in the area, talks to the local sheriff, unintentionally putting his foot in his mouth when he assumes the sheriff would share his views on Baltimore's government. Despite this, the sheriff, who has an African-American deputy wife, cooperates and offers to get them a tape from a nearby business. After McNulty leaves, the sheriff tells Greggs that McNulty is, quote-unquote, a bit of a difficult person to deal with. McNulty and Greggs discuss infidelity, with McNulty admitting to cheating on his wife while on the job. McNulty, aware that Greggs is back with Cheryl, makes a move nonetheless. Greggs and McNulty bring the tape to the unit office where they find Special Agent Terrence Fitzhugh installing new equipment with Freeman and Prez. McNulty calls Brianna, surprising Daniels with her involvement. Fitz's equipment helps Prez enlarge the image from the video camera footage, revealing Bernard's plate number. McNulty meets with Brianna and argues that D'Angelo Barksdale couldn't have committed suicide. Brianna believes D'Angelo, being under Avon's protection, would not have been harmed as well, suggesting foul play. McNulty makes her feel guilty, implying a lack of concern for D'Angelo's death. He also mentions her role in dissuading D'Angelo from implicating Avon in the beginning. Brianna questions why McNulty didn't approach her first, and McNulty suggests she prioritizes protecting the drug operation over her son. As we catch up with the Barksdale crew, Avon Barksdale and Slim Charles attend Rico's funeral, and Avon decides to seek revenge on Marlo Stanfield. Stringer Bell meets with Senator Clay Davis to discuss the slow progress of his development business. Davis tries to distract Stringer by offering a light bulb supply contract and mentions plans to operate at a federal level in 3 years. Stringer expresses readiness to run now, but Davis insists on a gradual approach. In the office, Avon gives Slim Charles a contact in social services to locate Omar Little's relatives. Slim Charles, of course, questions splitting his efforts between Omar and Marlo, but Avon assures him they can handle both now that he is back. Avon proposes using Devin to get to Marlo indirectly. Shamrock bribes social services to learn that Omar's grandmother still lives at the same house. Charles sends Sapper and Gerard to stake out the house and wait for Omar, but Sapper does not grasp the plan. Stringer Bell then discovers a rival property developer's success through an association with Clay Davis. Stringer presses Davis to expedite their money-making endeavors. Davis introduces Stringer to a contact for federal funding, but the contact refuses to engage with Stringer. Davis assures Stringer they will do business with the contact. Stringer returns to Davis with cash, seeking guarantees, but Davis sees it as a sign that Stringer is still not prepared. At the funeral home, Brianna stops by to speak to Avon. Stringer is there, and of course he refuses to let her speak to Avon. Afterwards, the Stanfield crew is out partying in a club when Marlo sees a young woman gazing at him. He refuses to drink and dance. After the two have fun in the back of his car, Devin insists on seeing Marlo again the next day. Marlo contacts Devin for a meeting and starts feeling uneasy about the entire situation. To avoid potential issues, he tasks Chris Parlow with handling Devin. Snoop sees a Barksdale soldier at the arranged meeting place, buys food, and takes it to an SUV. Snoop informs Parlow, who observes Devin receiving payment from the car. Parlow decides to shoot into the SUV, injuring Avon and taking out Tater, one of Avon's soldiers. Shamrock informs Stringer about the shooting and about Brianna having tried to contact Avon earlier. Stringer instructs Shamrock to keep Brianna away. Slim Charles takes Avon to a vet for his injuries. Avon meets with Shamrock, Slim Charles, and Perry, deciding to wait out Marlo. Stringer interrupts, warning Avon about the consequences of war. Avon criticizes Stringer for being too focused on money and soft, having lost his street edge. As a way of proving just how much of a tough guy Stringer actually is, he ends up admitting to orchestrating D'Angelo's death, claiming that it was a necessary act. Avon attacks Stringer, but Stringer overpowers him due to Avon's injuries, revealing he did it to protect Avon. Avon is rendered speechless, walks away, and sits down. That was episode number 33, titled Moral Midgetry. To watch the next or previous episode summary, click on the link in the description or at the end of this video. In the description, you will also find additional links for supporting our channel. I will see you on the next episode. Goodbye. We upload new videos every week, so subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the like button as well. Click the notification bell to be notified of when we upload these videos. See you on the next episode of Culture Screen.